Did you know that the Social Security Trustees report came out for 2025? Indeed, it has for both Social Security Trust and the Medicare Hospital Insurance Trust. And what do you think those numbers say? Yes, Social Security and Medicare trustees both released reports June 18th, 2025, and the numbers suggest we are heading for insolvency. Welcome to the show, Tony Shore. We're
Woohoo! Insolvency.
about
I'm so excited.
Social Security is dying. Play it, Tony. You
Oh,
know you
yeah.
have that on cue.
Here's
And
another truth. Social Security is dying.
yeah, and we've gotten people commenting on our videos saying you guys are being mean-spirited and and being fear mongers and such. I am quite the opposite. I'm a huge believer in Social Security, but I just read the report that came out and it's not looking good. So what reports am I talking about, Tony? For the viewers, here it is. And it's all in caps because that's the way they have it on their screen. I just cut and paste. The 2025 annual report of the Board of Trustees of the Federal Old Age and Survivors Insurance. That's Social Security. And the Federal Disability Insurance Trust Funds. There are two separate trust funds. They're very different. They serve similar purposes, but they are separate trust funds. There's a report. So if you want to read this, you can. And there's also one called the 2025 Annual Report of the Board of Trustees of the Federal Hospital Insurance and Federal Supplementary Medical Insurance Trusts. That's from CMS, Center for Medicare and Medicaid. You know who signed those? You know who the trustees are? I saw Besant, the new Treasury Secretary, is on there. I saw RFK Jr.'s name. I saw the current Secretary of State. No, I don't know. I think I even saw a trustee was Vance, Vice President. But there's two empty slots. Public trustees, empty. So, yeah, let's fill those. And Tony, I'm throwing your name in the ring.
Please get me involved in this mess. I think I'd rather, I don't know, I'd rather be unemployed than have to be on that trustee board.
Well, yeah, here, I'm going to share the screen with you. And you could see, let me see if I can blow this up here.
I don't want to be responsible for the end of Social Security or even have to report on it. I guess we're talking about it right now, though.
Yeah, here's the name of the trustees on there. Can you see that? Scott Besant, Lori Chavez, RFK Jr., Frank. Man, I should have brought my glasses. The new Secretary of Social Security.
Yeah.
And then vacant, public trustee. So yeah, we got to fill this spot. I'm putting your name in the ring. So what does it say, Tony? What does it say? And if you want to read it, go for it. I'm gonna just skip to the punchline here. We have 8 years before insolvency. So not a newsflash, but 8 years. So if you're 59 years old listening to this,
I am.
There you go, Tony. This is meant for you.
That's my age right now.
When you hit your full retirement age at age 67, Social Security is going to be insolvent. What does that mean? Social Security's trust fund will be insolvent by 2033 if funds are reallocated from the separate. Remember, I said there's one for regular and one for disability. Mm-hmm. If you add them together to kind of shore each other up, you get to 2034. So you get a little extra year out of it.
Great.
Extra year, yeah. And if you read the Medicare report, hospital insurance trust will deplete by 2033 as well. So that's going to hit. They're going to not have enough money to pay out. We're talking Part A of Medicare, so that covers the hospital bills. So what happens? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Implication is for Social Security, 20% cut across the board, approximately 19 to 23%, depending how you do the math. But basically, they're going to have to cut everyone's Social Security check by 20% at that point.
If they let it run out, if they let things go until that time.
If they don't appoint Tony to the board to make things happen, shake them up, rattle the cages.
With Social Security a thing of the past, she can't afford to retire.
So any hope
it's not a thing of the past yet. as long as people are working, there will be money for some type of Social Security, right?
Yeah. So what this is
That's
saying,
the
okay,
idea.
is that the amount of money coming in from wages, payroll, basically the tax, Social Security tax on wages, is not enough to cover the expense of going out. That has been the case since 2010. We've now been in a complete deficit where we're spending down our reserves for a couple of years now. So this is not news. But every year the report comes out, I'm like, oh, let's see if there's anything different. The Medicare side implication, a 10% approximate cut for Part A, which is the hospital payments in 2033, if nothing continues. And then that's going to continue to grow. It's not like hospital payments are going to get less expensive over time. Part D, which is drugs, and Part B, which is doctors, those are also growing exponentially. So what's the solution, Tony? What would if they appointed you to the board? What would you say?
I would do two things. I would raise the full retirement age from 67 to 70. Then I would eliminate the ceiling on how much income you have to pay Social Security tax on in your working years. Right now, it's what, 170 or
Yeah,
130?
something around. It's pegged to it's some sort of inflation peg, but yeah, once you make above 170,000, we'll call it, you don't put into Social Security anymore, even if your
Yeah.
wages are
And there are executives
178.
making, I mean, the number of people out there making more than $170,000 a year now is a lot. In
Yeah,
this country, I think that would make a huge difference
yeah,
and really go a long way. I mean, that would add years, I think, to it would keep it soluble. Is that the word?
solvent.
Solvent.
What do you think the current strategy is? If we don't do anything, what do you think the play is? Borrow more.
Print
We'll
more
just print
money.
more money.
Yeah.
And just give everyone more money. Talk
Yeah.
about inflation,
Yeah,
right?
that would increase inflation. We saw what happened when they threw what was it, $7
Trillion,
trillion
billion,
dollars
zillion.
during COVID to get us
Yeah,
back from the shutdown. They had to spend
right.
$7 trillion. And then people were surprised when inflation went to 10, 12%.
Right. Yeah,
Of
just give
course it
everyone
did.
$1,500 check, well, big deal. Imagine doing that every month to everyone on Social Security.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the solution. Another solution is multifaceted, like you did, Tony, which is again why
Oh, do
people
you
write in.
disagree or agree with my idea, the two-pronged approach?
That's a good appetizer. I think once you
It'll
get
take more,
going,
you think?
it's
Yeah.
going to take more.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
because we're
agree. I
waiting.
agree.
We're waiting and waiting and waiting. What did we do? We've been here before. We've been here before. You remember who was in charge last time this happened?
Yeah. It was in the 80s.
That's right. I'm going to share my screen again because this is good. And I should have brought my glasses.
I got
Man,
a pretty good imitation of Reagan.
let's hear it.
It was Ronald. Well, Nancy. Well,
Yeah.
Nancy.
So Social Security has on their website.
They let me make a monkey movie. I don't know. I can't. Though. Well, Nancy, the monkey movie didn't work. I don't know.
We're going back in time. That was
Yeah.
pretty good, Tony. Ronald Reagan. He has some quotes, and it's on Social Security's website. If you're watching, you can go there and read this. But I'm going there now because I found a few things that were good. He wrote some letters to congressional leaders about the situation. And May 21st, 1981, I'll just read a little bit. As you know, I'm not going to do it in Reagan voice. I don't have it. I'm not there yet. As you know, the Social Security system is teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. Over the next 5 years, Social Security Trust Fund could encounter deficits of $111 billion, which is like, oh, that's nothing.
That's chump change right now.
Right now.
We're talking about $30 trillion in debt or more.
But look at Nostradamus here. I mean, Reagan. And in the decades ahead, its unfunded obligations could run well into the trillions unless we in government are willing to act. So he talks about it. And then later on, July 18th, 1981. So this is 2 months later. He writes, Another letter. The highest priority of my administration is restoring the integrity of Social Security system. Those 35 million Americans, well, a lot more now.
Yeah.
Those 35 million who depend on Social Security expect and are entitled to the prompt bipartisan action to resolve the current financial problem. At the
Different
same
times.
time, I deplore the opportunistic political maneuvering cynically designed to play on the fears of many Americans that some in Congress are initiating at this time. Yeah. So we are really repeating history here.
Yeah.
We are repeating history.
Well, they've kicked the can down there. How long have we known this is coming? I mean, obviously he talked about the problems then, and they did things to shore it up for the time being, pun intended, with my name. But they shored it up for a while, but now we've known this time is coming. They've been talking about it and just lip service, but they've kicked that can down the road, haven't they?
Well, look what they did. This is in that letter, September 24th, 1981. You're right. They kicked the can, but they tried to fix it. And this is what Reagan said. In 1977, Congress passed the largest tax increase in our history, which Reagan didn't like, right?
Nope.
It's called for a payroll tax increase in January 1982, another in 1985, and again in 86 and in 1990. When that law passed in 77, we were told it would make Social Security safe until the year 2030. But we're running out of money 48 years short of 2030. So they made some changes in 77 trying to fix it, and then a few years later they're like, oh yeah, we're that didn't work. So there's no it's not like it's not like this is all new.
Right. They knew in
tried to do things.
1977 that we'd have problems in 2030. So they
Right.
decided to shore it up a little bit, but
Right,
then Reagan had to do it again. He had to
Right.
Reagan made Congress enact some other fixes. And I remember when this happened. I remember in the 80s when they said we got to do something, and then they changed the full retirement age and they did different things to make it solvent again. And it was solvent and now we've heard this 2034 and 2033. They've been saying that for so long that I can't believe it hasn't been addressed by Congress.
No. It hasn't, and you know why? And I said that Biden would be the one to fix it. I said he was a lame duck, and someone had commented in one of my recent shows because I mentioned that you were making fun of me for getting that one wrong, but we both kind of agreed that that was a good time for Biden to kind of put his
he
flag
had an opportunity. I thought
he did. Yeah. So the question comes now, and the comment from one of the viewers said, Donald Trump's a lame duck too right now. So why can't he do it? And I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe that is what's going to happen. Maybe Donald Trump, much to the chagrin of half the country, will make a really impactful decision and fix Social Security. Because that whoever does it is going to be vilified. I don't care what side. There's always going to be half the people.
Well, politically they will be, but the average person, the seniors, will have to look and say, okay, good, Social Security is going to be around, or for my kids, I wouldn't vilify.
Look at Tony, 60-year-olds, 59-year-olds are going to be the first to get hit. People that are 62 today on Social Security, they're going to be hit by the time they're 70, potentially. This is not. It's not like,
if nothing is done. I mean, somebody's going to have to pay somewhere, and so somebody's going to complain about that. But it's better than I don't want them to outright cut benefits. I mean, directly raising the full retirement age, you can say that's cutting benefits somewhat. But I mean, reducing all benefits by 20%, that's what we're trying to avoid, right?
And that doesn't even solve the problem. That just keeps us treading water.
Yeah.
We're not going to be growing again.
Keeps us even.
We're not going to build up a reserve again.
Right.
It's trouble. So we're going to be insolvent in 8 years if we do nothing. We've been here before. So what do we do? Well, there's a million ideas on the table. There are. And we've done shows on it. Watch that show again. It shows you all the different options, all the different levers. It allows you to say what you think. And it sends a draft email to your congressman locally. Do that. Do it. Call up your local Congress representative and say, fix the damn thing, because we're all going to suffer from it. Yeah, you might say, well, I'm not on Social Security, so I don't care. And then there's the 20 and 30-year-olds that are saying, I don't even think Social Security, what is Social Security? It's not even be there for me, so what do I care? But you're putting into it. If you work and have W-2 wages, you're putting into the system. Are we at a point where just going to just have people put into it and never expect anything out of it? That's taxation without representation. That's not fair. None of this is truly fair, but we got to fix it. And I think we can all agree that we got to fix it. So I'm going to make the statement now that this is a perfect opportunity for Donald Trump to fix a problem that everybody believes needs to be fixed. You don't hear Republicans saying Social Security is fine. You don't hear Democrats saying Social Security is fine. You don't hear libertarians saying, oh, that's great. No, they're all saying, fix it, get rid of it, do something. Don't let it just die. And that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, well, I think we need the safety net of Social Security, especially with, pensions have gone away. So the corporations aren't going to take care of your retirement. You have to take care of your own. But are people in a position to save enough without Social Security to cover their entire retirements? The majority of people are not.
No, and even those that have the money refuse to make their own pension. They refuse to buy an annuity of sorts, because they just don't want to give up control.
Right.
So it's a tough spot. I think Trump has an opportunity. Will he do it? I don't know. I'm hoping so. I think it would be great. It would. I think for many Americans that hate him, they might say, well, I can get behind that. But it's going to obviously take bipartisan support. This is not a presidential issue. This is a congressional issue. And those letters that I read were from Reagan to Congress,
begging
to act, to get them to do it. And they did. They did.
Mm-hmm.
No one liked it. That's the best part. The solution, no one's going to like. Anyone in Congress that likes it is gonna, it's not going to happen. That means it's not a good solution. You have to have everyone dislike it in some way, like it in some way, but dislike it in some way. So you can't just do one side without the other. You have to increase the age, or you have to reduce benefits or increase taxes. You got to do both. You got to do a combo. That's it. And I think Trump can do it. I really do. I think he should, because it would put a stamp on his legacy, which he's very interested in. I think he likes his ego. I'm not sure. So I think it's
huge.
It's an ego.
It's going to be huge,
right? It would be huge if you could solve Social Security. I don't care. You might, even if you hate the man, you might say, well, at least he did something for the future of the
I don't
country.
care what political party the person belongs to or who it is, but I'm so frustrated they keep kicking this can down the road. And I will say, Dan, and not everyone's going to agree with me, but I am of the firm belief the first thing they should do is remove any limit on how much income they take Social Security tax away, because that's number one. That's an unfair tax to, like, let's say you're middle class. Let's say you're middle class and let's say you're making $100,000 a year, or $150,000 a year. Let's do that. And you're putting 6% of that 6% of your income goes to the Social Security fund, right?
Yeah.
Let's say I'm an executive and I make $3 million a year, and I have no problem. I want people to make more money. I like it. That's what America's all about. I'm all for it. But let's say I make $3 million a year take home, or even, before or after take home. But let's say I'm paying 6% of my $3 million. I just think that, I have more to live on because I'm earning more, but really a bigger chunk is a flat tax like that is kind of unfair if I'm in the 150. I think if you're making 3 million, you should pay your full 6% on the full 3 million. I'm paying 6% on everything I make. Why aren't they paying 6% on everything they make?
Because what we talked about that last time. Elon Musk putting 6% of his 300 million salary, whatever it is. Because how do you get paid out on that? You have to totally change the bend points for the payouts, because the payout on Social Security, when you get it, is based on your work history and how much you put in, and you get a percentage back. They'd have to start adding more levels. Otherwise, it would be, you'd be putting so much in, you'd be getting so much back. So you have to, because you think about it, if you limit to what you get back, that's kind of unfair tax too. It's a class warfare. But I get it. You got to do it.
I just
You
think
have
we
to
need
do
to
it
do something to
strategically.
keep it solvent. And I think if you make a certain amount, it shouldn't. I mean, they should just have a cap on how much you can get from Social Security, which they do. And
Yeah, but
maybe
then
they
if
could
you
raise
do
it a
that-
little bit, but make so much more. You know what I mean?
But if you put a cap on what you get and you're not going to put a cap on how much you put in, that's unfair to me. So you have to have
no,
a balance.
there's a cap. You don't have to put in more than 6%. 6% is the cap.
No, but on all your income.
6% of your income, Dan. That's fair.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, John. All right. We're going to end on that. So remember,
All right.
write your congressman, put Tony's name down as the representative to fill those 2 vacancies.
Oh my gosh, no.
And it's
I don't
somebody,
want
get
any part of
somebody
that.
in there. You do. Someone's got to. If you don't, who will, Tony?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, read that report if you want, or if you're looking for trouble, you can't fall asleep, read the report on Social Security Trust. But just know
Right.
we're running out. And 8 years kicking the can. How much longer can we say kicking the can? Because we're right here. 8 years. I mean, where were you 8 years ago? We were doing the show, I think. All right, Tony. We'll catch everyone next week.
All matters discussed in today's show are for informational purposes only.
This show is not investment advice.
Dan Riddle nor Dolphin Financial Group are affiliated or endorsed by any government agency.
Investment advisory services are offered through Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc., a registered investment advisor in the state of Florida.
Insurance products and services are offered through Dolphin Insurance, Inc.
Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc. and Dolphin Insurance, Inc. are affiliated companies doing businesses as Dolphin Financial Group.
You should talk to someone at Dolphin Financial Group before implementing any of these strategies or ideas.